Hi, it's Korinn, 365 days of open heart living, day 90, walls and openings. We have just came through a span of time where we have been communicating, connecting in our dimensions of being. The 4 dimensions being our physical self, our emotional self, our mind, our mental space, and our spirit. And in each of those 4 dimensions, we function together as a whole being. They all have their own area, but they bleed and blend and interconnect with each other, making up the full experience of being human. And in our humanness, we have walls that prevent us from moving forward, walls that we hit up against in what our capacity is to understand, to have insight and realize, and to move forward in our growth. And we also have, in our humanness, openings. Those are the spaces that we don't have resistance in, we don't have a wall in, and we're able to move forward in our understanding, in our insight, in our growth and development. And it's a balance, right? We all have walls, we all have openings. And these parts of the dimensionality of who you are, they are in relationship with each other. The walls that you have, they can be affected by the things that are openings for you. Having a wall can be shifted. You can take down the wall, or it can be built up as well. And vice versa, when we have openings and we're moving in through a part of our self, emotionally, mentally, physically, or spiritually, there can be certain walls that show up as well. And the opening that we are moving through can be stopped and inhibited. So altogether, the thing that meditation in general helps to build is awareness. Awareness of how you are, awareness of what your walls are, what your blocks are, awareness of when you're open, what you're open to. If what you are opening to is helping you to move forward, or if potentially you need to put up a wall, a boundary. So it's relative, like I said. Openness and openings in general allow movement, flow, growth. Walls in general, they inhibit movement forward, and they are a stop point. But in their relativity and how they work together, sometimes we need the wall to stop us. Sometimes we need to be at a pause and conserve our energy and be a little bit deeper in the awareness of what the wall is and why. Sometimes that wall is something that needs to be taken down, and sometimes the wall is something that needs to be paid attention to in creating a safe and healthy boundary. But did you know that in creating safe and healthy boundaries, by putting up a stop point, a wall, that it's a redirection. The openness can then flow in another direction. The awareness that we have in having a wall, building a boundary, putting something into place, having a stop in how we are in our life, in our beingness, that then can be a pivot point for us to reassess and to then have openness with your gained awareness to move forward in a better direction. So it's all really complementary in you becoming the best version of yourself and you having more of a intuitive, engaged, intentional eye for the direction to take your steps in. The 4 dimensions, they can individually have a wall in them. We can have a mental wall that we put up of not dealing with something, a trauma in the past perhaps, or an argument that we just don't want to have. There can be a wall put up mentally where we just don't go there. Emotionally, you might put a wall up with not allowing for vulnerability, a wall up in keeping yourself from finding ways to have joy and just being in the pit of feeling defeated or bitter. There can be a wall up spiritually in the way that you just seem to flutter around and don't have grounding to land on and being rooted in your spiritual essence, that the things you are doing in your life, the life you are creating for yourself, there is a spiritual value there and there is spiritual support to lift you up. If we have a wall to exploring that dimension of ourselves, then that can be detrimental to our progress as well. And then the physical self, the physical body, there can be walls put up for human touch, for receiving touch or giving touch. There can be walls put up with our patterns and habits of healthfulness. And all of those areas and all the walls that they potentially can be blocking us in or causing us to have a spot to stop and assess, where am I at, what am I doing, what do I need. It's an opportunity. And in the opportunity, when you bring attention to where your walls are at, which dimension of your being they're in, what specific aspect of you having more openness and flow in how you are, what aspect is shut down in the wall. There's great insight to take from having awareness in how you are. And the meditations that we have been doing in the 4 dimensions, they have been a flavoring of you having a taste of each of those areas. But you are you. And you know yourself more than anybody else. And so the place within your being that you have the greatest wall in right now, what is it for you? Right now in how you are, where's your wall? Do you have a wall up spiritually? Do you have a wall up emotionally? Do you have a wall up physically? Do you have a wall up mentally? Likely it's a combination, but which one has the highest wall with the biggest, strongest bricks weighing you down? As you feel into that questioning of yourself, where is my wall? I want you to close your eyes and let your mind wander in exploring. Where is my biggest wall and how I am right now? If that wall has a look, if you can see that wall in your mind's eye, what does it look like to you? Ask your inner self, show me what this wall looks like that I have in regards to the dimension that you have it in. Show me or let me feel what is having this wall doing to me. And now let's go through each of the 4 dimensions. What is this wall doing spiritually to me? What is this wall doing emotionally to me? What is this wall doing mentally to me? What is this wall doing physically to me? And now you get to make up your mind right now. Do you want this wall to be in your way? Or do you want to start to deconstruct it and take it down, to move around it, to climb up over top of it, to move past it? What do you want to do about this wall? It is your choice. how that energy just shifted. There was an openness in making a choice for yourself and what you want to do about something that potentially is in your way. And when you shift in how you are positioned at the wall and you make the choice of what you want to do about it, the open energy starts to flow, and that brings action. The potential of acting spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically to be bigger than the wall. You are really not stuck. And you're not stuck at all. Walls are merely stopping points so that you can see what you need to see. Direct your attention at what needs attention given to it so that you have the authority and the power and the capacity to make a choice for yourself. And the energy expands in that openness, and the wall dissolves. As a stopping point for you to merely be launching from. Sit in this, your shifted energy, and feel yourself. And when you're ready, open your eyes. The common denominator here is that it is all energy. It's all energy. Your mind, your body, your emotions, your spirit, they are all your energetic self. The blocks that you have physically are also the blocks you have mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And that's what it is for each of those areas. The blocks that you have spiritually are also the blocks you have mentally, emotionally, physically. The blocks that you have emotionally are also the blocks that you have spiritually, mentally, physically. The blocks that you have mentally are also the blocks that you have emotionally, physically, spiritually. I may have repeated myself there, I don't know, but you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. It's all energy. And your attention, when placed on where your personal wall is, an opening is created naturally because you're openly aware of where you're blocking yourself. And in seeing and experiencing the block, openness expands into being able to have different perspective, to have an insight that impacts your energy into shifting, so that action can then be taken to flow in a different way, to grow in a different way. It's all energy. And that wall, if you could feel it when you saw it, how it looked to you, it has an energetic quality that is communicated to you by it not being a literal thing, but it being a energetic thing. There is no brick wall in front of you that you can't move around, but there are brick walls built up within those 4 dimensions of yourself that prevent you from moving forward in your life experience. And like we talked about at the beginning, they have purpose. Sometimes it's a boundary, a stop point, but always the openness to kind of dig into yourself and to become more intimately connected with who you are and what's stopping you. That is an openness that allows you to take action for your own betterment, for your life experience, to shift like your energy did in a way that just feels better. So my hope and my wish and my prayer for you is for you to take the time when you need it to pay attention to how you are blocking yourself, the walls that you have built up in your heart, in your life, in your mind. Cage your spirit. And your spirit is not meant to be caged. It's meant to be free, to explore and experience and pursue more light around you and to come forth from within you. And so I hope and I wish and I pray for the light of your spirit to illuminate those blocks and those walls, and in that openness of seeing what is inhibiting you, that the open-hearted courage that is there within you also illuminates and expands and becomes bigger than the wall it needs to break past beyond, so that all of that positive energy that wants to flow through you can come from your heart as you live your heart.